that has in the middle. Oh, sorry. No. Okay. Thank you.
Pnawn da everyone. Just before we start this press conference, we're going to give you a quick update. Our team bus has been involved in a road traffic collision on the way to training here at the match stadium. Thankfully, everyone is okay. They're on the scene. It just means that we need to cancel a training session here, and we might be doing something ourselves later, but we'll keep you updated. The main thing is that all players and staff on the vehicle were okay. If you can please be short and sharp with this press conference for very obvious reasons. I think this story is going to be developing, but we'll get through everything. And Angharad won't be answering any questions on that topic, but Rhian is happy to take one question on it. So what we'll do is start off with the English, then the Welsh. It doesn't look like there's any French media here, but if there are, Rhian's happy to do some in French as well. So Michael, if you want to go first to the BBC, please. If there's any microphones from UEFA as well, or...
Wow. Rhian, how are you all? Obviously that's the most important thing. How is everyone?
Yeah, this is really developing right now, so we're just trying to be as clear and transparent as possible. I think everyone from all the reports everyone's okay. Our priority is just to get them all together and away from the scene, and then reassess. We've got great staff and we've got really good support for them, and we'll be checking in just to make sure they continue to be okay. And also, and just as importantly, I believe the other car involved, I think everyone is okay there as well. So when we know, I'm sure we'll be letting everyone know.
You can see you're all kind of shaken up. Obviously, needless to say, not ideal preparation, but as you say, everyone okay. The main thing, no training today now. Do you think that's going to affect things, or is it a kind of football's very secondary at the moment?
Yeah, I think football is secondary, and I think, yes, we are shaken just because we don't know. We're away from the team right now, so they've had to experience that. But equally, we have great group, and I've been assured everyone's fine. We've practiced for the unexpected. I think that's what we can call this. And football is secondary, but equally we'll check back in, make sure everyone is in a good spot, and then we'll start working towards football again after that.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Just take the poll.
Thanks. Obviously, you've got a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
France, an incredibly tough challenge. How's preparation been? Obviously, if you lose, could be that's the end of qualification hopes. Just how is everyone? How's the week gone?
Yeah, it's one of those where it was a real introduction to the Euros against quality opposition. I was really pleased with a lot of elements of the game, but equally, we always want to put on a strong performance for our fans, and we had moments where we know we can improve, which is what this is all about. And we have another opportunity. We always talk about the next match. I think everyone's aware of sort of what it means if we don't get a point. But equally, it's about delivering as strong a performance as we possibly can to have another opportunity to show Wales how proud we are to represent our country.
Angharad, first game is out the way. Wasn't the result you'd hoped for, but in a sense, is it now that game's out the way? Do you think experiencing it and the fans and everything that went with it, all the emotion, do you think now you might be, as a squad, in a better place for the next two games?
Yeah, I think emotions were obviously high in the first game. We'd waited a very long time for that moment, and firstly, the fans were unreal. The red wall, the way they followed us throughout, but to run out of the tunnel and experience that was maybe experience that a lot of us hadn't experienced before. Now we know what to expect. Now we know what's in front of us. We've got two big games coming up. First game against France, and we've prepared the way that we prepare for any other game, and this is any other game. We've played France before, and we know what we can do to get points from the game. And we've learned a lot over the last few days, a lot about ourselves individually and collectively, and we've had hard conversations about the game. And we're ready to step back on the field and put in a performance that we can really be proud of.
Angharad, on that, I was watching the game back, and I think I noticed that when the crowd started singing Amau Hyd before you came out, that your mouth was mouthing the words. Am I right in thinking that?
I don't know.
It's instinct.
Probably, yeah. That's one of my favourite songs. I listen to it in my headphones before every game, and it's a song that's probably on repeat for my walk around the field and before I come in. And it's a song that us as a group, we always play before we leave to go out through the tunnel. So yeah, I was probably trying to contain myself and maybe going back to a song that I can just feel a lot of calmness from and readiness for the game. But yeah, I didn't realise I was doing it.
You probably didn't realise that Liv was doing exactly the same behind you as well. It was pretty cool. Rhian, after the game, you mentioned that you suggested there seemed to be a few issues at half-time. Couldn't get your messages across, perhaps. You mentioned a few things that your technical staff would have to work out. Have you sort of learnt lessons from that and righted those wrongs ready for tomorrow?
Well, absolutely, and just like the players that we, have experienced their first Euro games, I think from us as a tech staff, we've been open with the players as well. There's a level that I expect of myself, and I'm absolutely going to go towards it to make sure that we're as clear as possible for the players who have to deliver on the pitch. So I'm looking forward to a second crack at it.
And just lastly, I know we might have checked already, but have you got a clean bill of health, particularly around, I know Kerry was cramped, but have you got everybody fit for tomorrow?
We do. Other than my voice, everyone's in good. Well, obviously, look, we can't shy away from there's been an event here that I need to check in on, but at this time, the team is in good shape and ready to go.
Thank you both.
Thank you. Geraint from Sky.
Hi, Rhian. Sorry, just one for me, just so we get our reporting correct on this. Were you and Angharad in a different vehicle on the way to the coach? Also, how are you communicating with your staff, your backroom staff, who I know want to keep you involved in? And what do you want to happen now so that you're clear in your mind what you need to do tonight ahead of what is a huge game for you? And are UEFA doing enough to help you as well?
Yes, UEFA's been brilliant. This has happened literally as we were coming in here. So we have been in the media vehicle. The team has been traveling in the coach. They're near our hotel, so they're still far from the stadium. So the first thing we've done and what we've decided to do as a staff is to make sure that we get them away from the scene and we get them back to a place where they can all be together. We've been in constant communication with the staff that's on the bus, but equally with the other vehicles. And it's not about overreacting. We just need to make sure that we've got the players together and that we have the right people around them to make the decisions. What does prep look like? Well, I'll find out how the team is first, and then we'll look at preparation.
Just onto the game itself now. Does anything change for you? Hopefully, as you say, everyone is fine. I'm sure everyone's probably a bit shaken, but once you get that opportunity to move on to game mode, are you where you need to be?
We are. I think this is a fantastic opportunity. This is another good team. We've talked about that enough, that these are three strong teams in our group. It's another opportunity for us to show up and to play to the best of our ability, to really go towards some of the challenges that we found ourselves in the last game and improve and continue to work towards that. And I think that's what that game's about. It's another great test, and this team that Wales has played a couple times in the not so distant past. So I think we know them well, and we're looking forward to it.
Last one from me to you, Angharad. Just in terms of that emotion, bottling it in the right way, how do you do that now? Because there's going to be great support again from the Red Wall tomorrow night. Do you think it might be slightly easier that all the emotion, nerves, excitement from Saturday is passed on, but you can maybe have a greater control of emotions to help you concentrate on what is a very, very tough ask?
Yeah, I think obviously the first game was going to be full of that emotion. We'd be lying if I'd have sat here and said any different, I think. As I mentioned, it was a long time coming, and it's something that we have worked so hard towards. But our prep doesn't change, and we know the Red Wall are going to still be there right behind us like they were from minute 1 to the 90th minute. They were superb. And it's an experience that we've experienced now. And I think it's about how we can acknowledge it and appreciate it, but also focus on our task ahead, and that is to get 3 points in the game tomorrow.
Okay, Sean Misra.
Rhian, I had a lot of Wales fans telling me how excited they were that Wendy Renard was not going to be part of this France team, but they've proved against England and in all their games this season that this is still a very strong French team with quality areas all over the pitch. How difficult has it been for you to plan and to study them to try and figure out ways to stop them? Because to win every game in a calendar year so far is quite impressive.
Yeah, it just makes the feat even more exciting. They're a fantastic team, and they've got an incredible depth for a team not to pick a legend like Wendy Renard. There's obviously a very strong player pool. That's, who France have been for a long time. This is a country who has been developing in the game and been leading in the development of the game for a long time. And I think that the way that each coach has sort of brought them in a different direction and brought them forward in a different way it's interesting. I think it's really interesting to study. And for us as a technical staff, it's the challenge of how do we set ourselves up in a way to nullify some of their threats, but equally to give us opportunities, because this Welsh team that we have is exciting on the ball. They're strong, and to know that you have a team that's going to give everything they have is not a privilege that every coach gets. And I have it.
Angharad, just one for you. You mentioned those games from 3 years ago, 2 really narrow defeats, but 2 really good performances against France. I know it's been 3 years since then, but how much confidence can you take from those defeats heading into this game?
Yeah, we spoke about this briefly this morning, that, we learn a lot from past games, but 3 years has gone by and we're a different side. We've come on leaps and bounds since the last time we played France. And I just think that, if we can really, we know that areas to exploit with them are. We've adapted slightly to suit our game plan and how we really feel like we can get after them and get result from the game. But there's a lot of lessons that we learnt last time. We were very close, and being narrowly close is obviously frustrating, because we've had that conversation a few times with, a few results that we've had recently. We've been so close but not close enough, and those are the moments, they're the fine moments that we always speak about, and it's both in attack and defence that we maybe switch off for errors, or we have opportunities and we just don't quite get it over the line and into the goal, and it's frustrating. But I think that we've learnt a lot, and we learnt a lot in the last game against France, and we know that we can hurt them if we're at our best, and this group, I can promise you, is doing everything they can to be at their best ready for tomorrow.
Diolch both.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Okay, diolch yn fawr. We'll just do a couple in Welsh as well, so 4 yn Gymraeg.
4 yn Gymraeg, ie.
Diolch.
Angharad, sut wyt ti? Na i ddim holi am y manylion heddiw yn amlwg, ond yn amlwg mae'r paratoada yn newid ganddoch chi rwan. Ydy hynny'n mynd i effeithio chi o gwbl, ti'n meddwl?
Na, mae'r tasg ddal y tasg ni moyn. Ni'n paratoi yr un peth, ond mae manylion yn newid pethau, a mae popeth yn newid pam ni'n eisedd fan hyn ar hyn o bryd, ond ni'n gwybod yr gwaith mae'n rhaid i ni gwneud yn yr diwrnod i ddod mwyn bod yn barod am nos o fory, a bydd hwnna ddim yn newid dim byd i ni.
Sut ydych chi'n teimlo ar ôl gêm yr Iseldiroedd? Mewn ffordd ydych chi allan falch fod y gêm gyntaf na allan o ffordd, oeddech chi'n deud eich hunan fod yna lot o nerfa yn dweud?
Ie, oedd lot o nerfau, oedd yn gêm emosiynol iawn. Oedd ni'n aros trwy'r dydd, a just achos ni mor cyffroes, ni'n just moyn chwarae yn yr gêm, a oedd e'n dydd hir iawn iddyn ni gyd. Ond mae hwnna allan o ffordd nawr. Ni yn y sefyllfa ni yn, mae gyda ni 2 gêm anodd, ond 2 gêm ni'n gwybod bod ni'n gallu cael canlyniad allan o'r ddau. Ond ni'n just yn edrych ymlaen mynd nôl ar y cae. Ni'n caru chwarae i Gymru, mae'n olygu popeth i ni gyd. Ni'n chwarae 100% pob tro, a ni just moyn stepio allan unwaith eto nos o fory yn erbyn tîm sy'n cryf iawn.
Ia, Ffrainc, Ciro Lloegr yn y gêm gyntaf, oedd hynny yn annisgwyl o gwbl i chi?
Na, mae Ffrainc yn tîm cryf iawn. Maen nhw'n cryf pob lle yn yr tîm. A maen nhw wasod yn chwaraewyr gwahanol. Ond bydd dyma'r gemau ni moyn chwarae. Bydde ddim yn bydde'n gêm anodd iawn, felly ni'n gwybod beth i disgwyl, ond mae'r grŵp yma wedi paratoi a wedi chwarae tîmoedd fel hyn yn yr flwyddyn a flynyddoedd diwethaf, a ni'n gwybod beth mae rhaid i ni gwneud mwyn cael canlyniad allan o'r gêm.
A jyst yn ola, nathach chi chwarae nhw yn erbyn nhw ddwywaith rhyw 2 blynedd yn ôl, colli'r ddwy, ond oedden nhw'n gemau agos iawn, so chi wedi gallu cael gemau cyfartal. Faint o hyder da chi'n gallu cymryd o hynny?
Ie, mae ni fel grŵp wedi siarad am y gemau ni wedi chwarae o blaen yn erbyn Ffrainc. 2 gêm oedd yn agos iawn, ond mae'r moment yn y gêm yn moment bwysig iawn. Mae rhaid ni bod yn wella yn amddiffyn, a hefyd mae rhaid ni sgorio mwy o golau, ond mae hwnna'n rhywbeth sydd wedi bod yn rhywbeth sydd wedi digwydd am sbel nawr wrth chwarae i Gymru. Felly mae'n rhywbeth ni'n treol gwella pob dydd ar yr cae ymarfer, a gobeithio ni wedi gwella ers y gêm diwethaf, a mae 3 blynedd yn amser hir iawn. Mae Rhian wedi dod mewn a wedi creu sefyllfa ble mae pob un yn gallu chwarae, a ni'n trystio pob un sydd yn mynd ar y cae, a gobeithio nos y fori bydd y sgwad i gyd yn bwysig iawn, a mae fe'n bwysig bod ni'n cael yr perfformiad sydd i angen.
Diolch, pob lwc.
Diolch.
Diolch ar pawb, thanks everyone.